Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. Well, I did a recent response video to Mr. Repzion, whose video itself was a response to Freely's. Anyway, I was pleasantly surprised in the comments to see so many comments from Mr. Repzion viewers who came over and watched our video, which was my whole goal in the first place. That's why we make these videos. And I was surprised by how a lot of them expressed how they really learned a lot from the video. A lot of them are unaware how their actions as meat eaters have effects on the environment and health and so on and so forth. So they were quite pleased, and I was quite pleased. However, still there was, as to be expected, resistance, comments from people who did not find that information to their liking. And I'm not going to pick on them in particular. The kinds of comments they left are very typical responses you hear from meat eaters defending their point of view. So that's why I'm making this video. For you vegans out there who are going to encounter or have encountered resistance at work or from friends, so you'll know what to say when you hear these arguments. Alright, as silly as this first comment may seem, we get this one quite a lot. If we all stopped eating meat and dairy, where would all the cows and chickens and pigs, etc. go? Back to the wild, where they would be easy prey for predators? I see where he's coming from. Yeah, in a perfect dream world, overnight everyone would turn vegan. So what would we do with all these animals that are locked up and in captivity to be turned into meat? Where would they go? Well, it doesn't work out like that in the real world. Right now, our meat demand is up here, and we want to bring it down every month, every year, gradually. So eventually we get to this point where there is little or no more demand for meat. There would be no more animals locked up in captivity. So you wouldn't ever be releasing animals out into the wild. I hear this, I tell you, quite often. It always makes me chuckle. You're killing tons of plants. I see this often. First of all, I even wonder, is it even a proper use of the word kill to apply it to plants rather than animals or people? But heck, let's just give you that. Let's say you can properly use the word kill when talking about plants. Well, let's look at how plants are actually harvested. I mean, when you go up to a fruit tree, like a mango tree, you don't chop it down. That'd be stupid. No, you pick the fruit off, or someone picks the fruit off and leaves the tree there to pump out more fruit. Same with bananas and apples and cherries and everything. No killing is being done. And let's go away from fruit. People say, well, you have to kill other plants like greens and stuff. You don't have to. I grow greens out of my front yard, and we just carefully pick the leaves off, eat them, the leaves grow back. Legumes, nuts, and seeds, you just pick them off the plants. You don't chop the trees down. The only thing that I think might be considered killing is our potato plants. And even then, you pick the potato once the green on the top that grows out of the earth is kind of dead. It's already going back, it's brown, and then you pull the root out, the potato. If you don't do that, it's just going to decay and die into the earth anyway. So I don't think anything's really being killed if you are truly concerned about killing. And someone else writes us, not all that convinced that I've really done any good for the environment by going vegan. You didn't save that much water or much else. The meat in stores is already dead and packaged. The resources are already used. You personally not buying it does not reverse that. Then down towards the bottom, you personally not buying meat on any given day does not actually save anything. All right, again, this goes back to demand for meat. It's way up here. We want to gradually bring it down and down. And yeah, I'm just one person. So if I was the only vegan in the United States, yeah, I'd have pretty much no impact. But the most recent statistics say there are about 16 million vegans and vegetarians, people that eat no meat in the United States. So that's a huge hit. Think about it. If there are 16 more million meat eaters, there would be that much more meat that would have to be created for us to eat, but we're not doing it. So actually, we have already made an impact. It was up here, now it's down here, the demand for meat. And as the demand decreases, you think the producers will continue to pump out the same amount of meat? No, they don't want to lose money. It is an impulse/urge to eat meat. It's just vegans overcome it. And as well here, Dan HD PvP is convinced by the stats I presented in my Mr. Repzion response video. However, he says the problem I face is that growing up on a standard meat diet, I have grown accustomed to these tastes and personally enjoy them. But I also have a lot of trouble dealing with what seems to be a significant change, he says down below. However, in these same comments, Hyperstatic says, just a year ago, I just thought I can't live without meat. WTF, now I can't even look at it. Yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. That's my experience, that's Angie's. Once you don't have meat for a while, you not only not miss it, you don't want it at all. The sight of seeing dead meat being grilled or on a plate is actually repulsive and disgusting, and sends me running for some bananas or potatoes or Angie's curry or whatever, anything but meat. So if that's your fear, guys, about change, trust me, your taste buds change too. Once you change your diet for a month, your taste buds can really undergo a lot of transformation. So meat consumption shall be prohibited because of greenhouse gas effects. Does that mean that we should stop driving cars? I do not understand why people think in a scheme of everything or nothing. Instead of helping a trend, he says down below, for sustainable meat production, ... Well, it's interesting you brought up sustainable meat production. Let's take a look at this chart here, which shows how many pounds of CO2 are created to create 1 pound of food. And by far, as you see at the bottom, the worst offender is beef, 7.4 pounds, pork, nearly 2 pounds. Well, how does that rank up to, say, potatoes? It's not even on the same scale, 0.13 pounds, apples, 0.15 pounds. And here's how many gallons of water are used to produce 1 pound of food. And some people like to take issue with all this gear and computer stuff behind me, thinking I'm just being a hypocrite. They write, you praise yourself on saving the planet because of your vegan diet, yet everything in your room, speakers, computers, etc., are products that leave significant carbon footprints. Well, that sure assumes a lot like I'm a wasteful person leaving the stuff running hardcore 24/7. I should have an astronomical electrical bill, right? Well, the average annual electricity consumption for a U.S. utility customer is 909 kilowatt hours per month. And here's our most recent electricity bill. Look, our usage with all this stuff on, all these computers and speakers, wasn't even half of that. It was just 395 kilowatt hours. And remember, we work at home here, so you would think our bill would be even higher, but it wasn't. And let me emphasize a really important point, which I think this viewer, this commenter, didn't understand. We never claimed that because we're vegans that we'd have zero emissions. Far from it. You can't do that. It's virtually impossible to live zero emission in this modern world. But what we are saying is we need to have a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. And the best way to do that is going vegan. Why? Because over about 51% of greenhouse gases are caused by animal agriculture production. So hopefully now you guys know how to respond when you hear at work, at school, at the family dinner table, when you hear these half-baked arguments as to why your choice to be vegan is somehow bad or meaningless. It's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of BS. So comment down below. What do you think? Did I leave anything out? What kinds of junk arguments do you hear from people all the time? These are the most common ones. I think that's why I wanted to share these with you. So like this video down there if you got something out of it, and subscribe if you're new to our channel for more from me and Angie here at Happy Healthy Vegan. So until next time, guys, eat a bunch of vegan food, keep it carb, baby, keep it carved. About how their actions, which before then they had no idea how the actions that one has